Props and Locks on Fox 10 is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
Welcome into Props and Locks, presented by FanDuel. I'm Sierra Santos. The NFL season is over. The Rams have been crowned, and somewhere out there, Matthew Stafford is still gripping a bottle of 1942, and I'm not mad. I'm just jealous. But just because the games are over doesn't mean that the wagers dry up, and for that, we bring in our betting bestie, Ben Stevens. Let me ask you this first. How much do you invest into futures?
Into futures markets, I do, and I think you can get some good numbers even early on, even if it's February right now, looking forward to next February and Super Bowl 57's champion. You could find some value pretty early.
Okay, so Aaron Donald says he's going to forego retirement to run it back with Los Angeles. However, the odds are not in favor for the Rams. Let's look ahead to the Super Bowl futures for 2023. The Bills are plus 700, the Chiefs plus 750, the Rams plus 1,200, and the Cardinals with slightly better odds than the Brady-less Bucks. Come on. They're plus 2,400 to win it all. I'm sure that has nothing to do with the Kyler Murray drama that's transpired over the last week and a half.
There seems to be a lot of quarterback uncertainty with NFC, the entire conference, which makes sense that the Rams are the favorite out of the NFC as you look at the Super Bowl championship market, because we have a feeling that we know what the Rams are going to return, at least at the QB position. A slight bit of movement here, though, Sierra. When this market opened up prior to Super Bowl 56, the Chiefs and the Bills were co-favorites, both at 7-1. Then leading up to last Super Bowl Sunday, the Bills became the favorites by themselves and the Chiefs 50 cents behind. I think there's more optimism about Buffalo than there is about Kansas City. It's almost like we expect the Chiefs to be here every year, but the future for the Buffalo Bills looks very, very hopeful.
Let's take it one step back. You just kind of touched on it. Odds makers are also favoring the Rams to win the NFC. They're at plus 450. The Packers, even with questions about Aaron Rodgers, we talked about those questions at quarterback, they are plus 600. Cowboys plus 600. Not a whole lot of love for the Cardinals. They are plus 1,200 to win the NFC.
The Cardinals right now, out of the teams from the NFC West, the Rams, the Niners, both Cards, but the Cards above the Seahawks right now, again, quarterback uncertainty for maybe 3 of the 4 teams in that very division. I have no idea how the Dallas Cowboys continue to be booked as a close favorite in any NFC or Super Bowl futures market. The Cowboys have won 3 playoff games in the last 25 years, yet get all the public money to still somehow be plus 600, only $1.50 behind the reigning Super Bowl champions. If you're going to bet on the Cowboys, good for you. I'm not spending my money on Dallas.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that they're America's team. Now, as far as the AFC goes, the Bills are plus 350, the Chiefs plus 380. Bengals, despite their Super Bowl appearance, are plus 1,000, and the Ravens have the exact same odds.
Sierra, when you compare the AFC Conference Championship right now to the market in the NFC, it's almost like the Bills and the Chiefs are incredibly short favorites. So you're pitting Buffalo and Kansas City versus the field. Plus 350, plus 380, only 30 cents of difference between Buffalo and KC. And then notice the large drop-off, over $6 of value before you get to Cincy, who just won the AFC, and Baltimore with a healthy Lamar Jackson. Throw in the Chargers with Justin Herbert in his 3rd year, and maybe the Denver Broncos are getting a shiny new QB too. So a lot of value deeper in the AFC market.
Okay, let's talk about quarterbacks, because I was out at Exos here in Phoenix, where guys are intensely preparing for the Combine. And when you look at the favorites for the first quarterback selected in the NFL draft, who would you put your money on?
It's going to be very interesting to see who comes out of this quarterback draft class. It is not the most stellar we have seen over the past 3 or 5 years, but who will be the first QB selected and who will be the first team in the top 10 of the NFL draft in desperate need of a quarterback? I think free agency and trades presents better value than maybe even the top end of this QB draft class. Kenny Pickett makes sense, though, a Heisman finalist.
All right, NBA All-Star Weekend is always an offensive clinic. But are you on Team LeBron or Team Durant? Ben breaks down which side you should be thinking about. That's after a quick timeout.
Welcome back to Props and Locks, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook.
It is time to bust out that chinchilla because it is All-Star Weekend in the NBA, and the festivities are usually highlighted by the dunk contest, which this year doesn't really boast the most marquee names, but it's all good because we got other lines from Cleveland. Ben, let's get right into it in the biggest defensive showcase in the world, and I say that with all the sarcasm in the world. Who do you like in the NBA All-Star Game? Team LeBron is -6, and my favorite, the over-under, which is 321.5. I know we're going to get to that in just a bit, but just when it comes to Team Durant or Team LeBron, do you have a favorite?
It is very interesting when you look at Team LeBron. Now, LeBron James will be known as many things when he finally wraps up his NBA career, probably after 27 seasons. But he is also perfect as a team captain in the NBA All-Star Game. Enters this weekend back in Cleveland, his hometown, or Akron, Ohio, his hometown, as a perfect 4-0. As a team captain in the NBA All-Star Game. It makes sense that Team LeBron is a 6-point favorite. He has Jokic. He has a really talented roster. I think Team LeBron can cover that number.
I love it. All right, so the favorite for All-Star MVP is the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, at +430. LeBron James, the guy you just mentioned, +600. Joel Embiid, also +600. And a long shot, but we got to throw it in for all of our Suns fans. Devin Booker at +3,000. Makes sense, though, because he is a reserve.
Yes, the narratives are going to be big in this market. Giannis looking to become the only other player besides Russell Westbrook to win back-to-back NBA All-Star MVPs. If LeBron wins in Cleveland, he would tie Kobe Bryant and Bob Pettit as the only 4-time winners of the award on All-Star Weekend. Maybe not Devin Booker, but Chris Paul from Phoenix, 34-1. It would be 9 years since Chris Paul's first NBA All-Star Game MVP. Maybe the narrative for the veteran, the point guard, makes some sense this weekend in Cleveland.
All right, let's continue talking about the Suns and look at the NBA Futures Champions. So Suns are +460, but they're tied with the Warriors right now, also at +460. The Bucks +550. The Nets +600. I'm sorry, but should Phoenix not slightly have better odds given that they're the NBA's best team this season? Am I failing to see what's wrong in this?
No, you're not, Sierra. And for much of this year, even when Phoenix was on an 18-game winning streak or an 11-game winning streak or enter the All-Star break on a 7-game winning streak, the market wasn't truly valuing the Phoenix Suns. For whatever reason, I'm not sure, but 48-10 entering the All-Star break, a 6.5-game lead over those very Warriors atop the Western Conference. I think Phoenix should be the lone favorite, but at least finally now a co-favorite. And at +460, although it's the shortest price on the board along with Golden State, I still think there's value on the Phoenix Suns. Why not run it back one more time in the Valley?
What do we got to do to get some respect in the desert? That's all I want to know. All right, so the fun, it's not over yet. We're getting Ben's best bets of the weekend coming up in our final segment. Stick with us.
Welcome back to Props and Locks, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Thanks for staying up late with us on Props and Locks, and there is nowhere we would rather be on a Friday night than with you guys, and we want to make sure you got a little disposable income this weekend, a little bit of beer money, right? So we are going to get Ben's best bets of the week. No pressure or anything, Ben. And Ben, this might be surprising for some people because it was surprising for me, but you're taking the under on the NBA All-Star Game. Please tell me why.
Here is why, Sierra, because the All-Star Game features what is known as the Elam ending. That means the leader after the third quarter between Team LeBron and Team Durant, 24 points will be added on to their team total in honor of Kobe Bryant. Then the two teams will play to that final number, whoever reaches it first in an untimed fourth period, which makes things a lot more competitive. It actually resembles a true NBA basketball game and generally keeps the scoring a little bit less. So the total is inflated at 321.5. The 2 years we've had the Elam ending, it's gone under that number. Under in the All-Star Game. I know it sounds like hearsay.
A lot more competitive and also a lot more confusing. Now, the three-point contest is always good television. And your money is on Fred VanVleet at +500 to win the whole dang thing.
I don't know why the market has moved against Fred VanVleet, but he was one of the co-favorites, now in the third best spot at +500, the second most made three-pointers in the entire association this year. His shot is pure. I think he's set up for a great format. And at 5-1, the beer money you speak of, Sierra, that could be a great start to your Saturday night.
Okay, are you a Kraft or a Miller Lite guy? That's what I gotta know.
Bud Light guy.
Bud Light guy, that's right.
Goodness.
All right, NCAA Final Four. Let's get your pick for who's going to make it really quick.
Let's stay in the Arizona area. I love the Wildcats at plus 190. Great value right there on Tommy Lloyd's team.
All right, we're back next week at 10:45. Until next week, take it easy.